Alrighty, welcome back to the NHL 24 online versus series where I play with all 32 teams, talk about them, talk about news in the NHL. And by the end of it, I'll tell you who my favorite teams to play with were, the players I really like. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm playing with the Edmonton Oilers today. It's a team with a lot of good talking points surrounding them, you know. Another disappointing start to the season for them at 1-5-5. For how much talent this team has, that should never happen. And I know they've been missing McDavid, I think, the last 2 games now. I don't really care about that. I know he's the best player in the world. But you have to be able to produce without him. I mean, you look at what Boston lost their two best centers in Krejci and Bergeron. Wish I would have got that pass off. And they started out 6-0. I think that's incredibly impressive. Is that exceeding my expectations? Yes. But do I think that's just an all-around good team? Yeah. I don't think the Oilers are an all-around good team, and that's showing even more. Love AI penalties. With how they've started. You know, I don't like blaming people for like how bad teams have been. But I think if I was going to put blame on anybody, it would have to be the GM, Ken Holland. This guy was good in the 90s with the Red Wings. I think because he was able to, or he went after Russian players when no one was, and got guys like Sergei Fedorov and all of them when nobody else was trying to get him. Same with like Pavel Datsyuk. But at the end of it, you could see the bad contracts he was giving out, and it seemed like he was just trying to keep the team afloat with those contracts, as in Justin Abdelkader and Danny DeKeyser. And those contracts really crippled the Red Wings for a long time, even into Steve Yzerman's tenure. You know, we had to tear everything down, and it took years to get that. Took years to make up for those bad contracts. But I think we're kind of starting to see that in Edmonton with I'm not even pressing poke check. And you look at guys like Evander Kane and Connor Brown, the newest one, and I mean I think Zach Hyman earned his contract, so I'll focus on Kane, Brown, and Jack Campbell, the goaltender. I mean, paying Jack Campbell $5 million per season. I think he gave him a 5x5. What are we doing? That Jack Campbell had one good season with the Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs were a good team. So I think he panicked. He said, "I need a goaltender." Oh, nobody wants Jack Campbell. Let me go get him. Well, there's a reason no one wanted Jack Campbell, because he was pretty bad. I'm kind of getting burned. And I don't know, Vander Kane, I think he's alright. I think Connor Brown's alright, but they want these guys to be top line contributors, like focus points on the offense, and that's not what they are. They are on full strength. I should probably stop just playing straight defense. It's not what they are. They're second, third line guys who can play good next to superstars, but they're not going to give you production like some of the other good second and third line guys around the league. I think they're pretty mid in those roles, but they're getting paid like top tier guys. I don't know. I want to see those guys produce because I like when the Oilers are good. I like seeing McDavid in prime time. Like, who doesn't? He's the best player I've ever seen with my own two eyes. But the fact is that I don't think Ken Holland is giving these guys what they need to be successful. You look at his draft picks. How many good draft picks does he have for the Oilers? I know they have low picks because they've made it to the Western Conference Finals and all that, and I don't know if they gave up a first for Matthias Ekholm. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But you tell me McDavid ain't scoring that, come on. But, I mean, are we saying Ken Holland's a great GM because he drafted Dylan Holloway and Stuart Skinner, and yeah, these guys they're guys, but that's all they are. They're not all-stars. You have to draft good, especially when you have a lot of cap room being taken up by McDavid and Draisaitl. I don't think Ken Holland has offered that. I don't think he's done McDavid and Draisaitl justice. So that's my little rant about Ken Holland. Being a Red Wings fan, he kind of destroyed my favorite team. So, but it's all right. We're back. We're getting there. That's what I want to talk about. So, if Ken Holland does go, I want to talk about the possibility of either trading McDavid or trading Drysdale. So, obviously, man, he plays that really well. You don't want to lose those guys because they're two of the top 5 point getters in the NHL. But if you had to lose one, just not go too early. But if you did have to lose one, I'd say you'd probably rather lose Draisaitl, and get a bunch of pieces back. You know, you look at what the Kings gave up to get Pierre-Luc Dubois. First of all, massive overpay. I think Dubois is good, but I don't know. You still got Anze Kopitar playing at a high level, and Philip Deneau is a good player. I don't know. I'll talk about that when I play with the Kings. But if you're telling me you can get 3 first-round picks, which I think Draisaitl is more than worth 3 first-round picks, and a couple good prospects, really rebuild your prospect pool. Come on, like why would you not do that if you're the GM of the Oilers? You're saying, all right, we got McDavid, who's one of the best players to ever play hockey. Yes, I'm already putting him up there. Scored 150 points. It's pretty insane nowadays. But I'm ripping that trade all day, because if you don't, McDavid's already making 12.5, and then when his next contract is up, if I'm him, I'm asking for 14 million plus, if not 15, because he's that good, and I think he has the leverage over the Oilers to get that. Not trying to make him out to be a bad guy. I don't understand that hit. But then you look at Draisaitl, and if Draisaitl is going to be asking for 12 plus, so then you got around $30 million wrapped up between 2 guys. The rest of your team's going to be trash. It's so difficult to build around 2 massive contracts. You only see teams give out 2 massive contracts when they're coming off a lot of success and their superstars are up, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to keep them because they've done so much for the franchise. Saw that with like Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk, Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves. They got massive contracts because they won a bunch, you know, not just Stanley Cups, but like looking at President's trophies, you're looking at Selkies, you're looking at Hart Awards. So those guys deserved that money, but I think they got them because of the success they brought in. Do I see McDavid and Draisaitl doing that with the current Oilers team? Absolutely not. You can see that when they played the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, and they just got killed because the Avalanche have a legit complete team, and the Oilers have two guys, sometimes three, with Nugent Hopkins, and sometimes four with Zach Hyman, who is really just a guy who plays off of McDavid and Draisaitl. So I don't know. I think it's time to retool around McDavid, and get some guys in there, get some young guys, get him a true sniper. Other than Draisaitl, because I think they play good together, but I think McDavid would play better with, I don't know, maybe Alex DeBrincat type of guy. You look at what Dylan Larkin's doing now that he has a true sniper. Maybe bringing a guy like Kevin Fiala, who's underrated. I really do like Kevin Fiala, or someone along those lines who can. McDavid can skate 1,000,000 miles an hour, get into the zone, and then dish it off because he's triple covered. And be able to dish it off to a guy and have him score a goal. I think that's what McDavid needs, and the guys around him, they're just not that. But yeah, this is a very weird game I'm playing right now. I feel like there's been a lot of penalties, and he's playing good, but I feel like I should be beating him by more. But that was a good move. I want to try to get a one-timer off, but they cover it so well this year. And skating backwards stinks. I will say that every single time. Probably in every video, just how bad skating backwards is. Because you get burned. You just get absolutely toasted all the time. And it's very annoying. And this is how people play. They just sit in front of the net and don't really let you go anywhere. I don't even know what the trick is. I just kind of move around until they move. I would love for that shot to go off. But yeah, I don't even know. With the Oilers looking the way they are they going to miss the playoffs? I think that's a real question we have to ask. Because if their defense keeps looking, God, this guy's trash. Playing like NHL 14. If their defense keeps disappointing and their goaltending keeps disappointing, I don't understand how they're going to make the playoffs unless they go out and score 6 goals a game, which they're capable of. But I don't know. I'm not going to bank on that. I think their division is solid. Do I think it's amazing? No. You look at teams like Seattle, who have also had a slow start, but I think they play more team hockey to where even if they have a slow start, they can bring it back. Who else is in that division? Look at Calgary. Calgary's just trash. Don't even know why I said them. I don't know if Vancouver's in that division. Vancouver's kind of one that could be a sneaky playoff team. I need to learn my divisions because I don't want to make predictions because I think I'm not very good at making predictions, but it would be nice to have them. If I can get a pause in, I might look at the divisions and see if they're making the playoffs. But I think not to just beat the point of team hockey and team building, but even if they do make the playoffs, what's the best case scenario? You've made it to the Western Conference Finals, and you showed that when you play a good team, they absolutely steamroll you. I mean, what's different about this team from then? Matthias Ekholm, are you really banking a Stanley Cup off Matthias Ekholm? I wouldn't. And I don't even know who else they've added. They added Connor Brown. Connor Brown has not shown that he can even play with Connor McDavid. He was not good at all in their short time playing together so far this season. Speaking of Zach Brown, shout out with the assist to Evander Kane. And Buddy's out here. I mean, 3 shots, man. I don't even know how you score a goal with that. But that's the game. Yep, very disappointing start for the Oilers. Hope they can bounce back. I don't know. Not really seeing it. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.